to the Nurturing Greatness podcast. If you are completely satisfied with the education landscape as it is right now, this podcast is not for you. But if you are ready for change and motivated to disrupt the current system, keep listening. This podcast will explore what it really means to cultivate brilliance in ourselves, in our students, and in the systems that we lead. I'm Dr. Tanya Breland.
And I'm Dr. Erica Leek. And together through the Nurturing Greatness movement, we are committed to high expectations, asset-based leadership, and creating environments where every learner, every single one, is seen, challenged, and affirmed. In each episode, we sit down with leaders, educators, and change agents who are committed to doing the deep work of transformation. And today, y'all, we have Dr. Jamiylah Jones.
Jamiylah.
Sorry, I should ask you that first. Dr. Jamiylah Jones, thank you, who is the founder and CEO of Creative Transformations. So Creative Transformations is a global education consulting company that partners with schools to lead meaningful change, including the integration of AI and education. I am so excited for this conversation.
Yes, and I had a chance to sit in just on a piece of her AI presentation at our Nurturing Greatness Summit, and it was amazing. It was like top notch. But Dr. Jones has 25 years of experience as an educator, a principal, and consultant across public, private, and international schools. Her work encompasses school redesign, leadership coaching, and AI integration. Dr. Jones has helped dozens of schools launch, grow, and thrive. She brings a unique blend of systems thinking, we love that, and human centered design to her work, empowering educators to lead with purpose in the age of artificial intelligence. To begin our conversation, Dr. Jones, I would love to ask you who first nurtured greatness in you?
Thank you for having me. The only person that comes to mind is my mother. She was a strong woman who didn't take crap from anyone. And when I was young, my father had died when I was 9 years old. And I saw my mother just shrivel up and want to die as well.
Mm,
And over 10 years, I saw her pick herself up, take herself back to school, and she became a teacher. And that inspired me to go into education. And my sister we both went into education
mm,
because of her. She did not allow us to be followers. We had to be leaders. And I feel that because of that, I never thought to be a follower. I had to be a leader because she didn't expect anything less than that from us. And additionally, I saw her persevere. So that perseverance helped inspire me to not give up on the work that I was doing, especially in education. And so if I had to choose someone, like I said, it definitely is my mother. But I want to say something about both my parents. They died when I was young. My mother died some years after my father.
so
And
sorry.
they but I couldn't figure out why God would take them, from me at a young age. And I read something profound. And the statement was sometimes people are just put here to give birth to great people.
Mm.
They don't live long. But their goal in life, the covenant they had with God is to birth someone who's great. And I thought to myself, I have to become great. So although they didn't live, long, my mother died when she was 40, my dad died, before he even made 30. I think to myself, they were put here for a reason. And so I told myself, my siblings that we have to be great. And she didn't let us be followers. We had to be leaders and we had to be great leaders. So I just wanted to end with that caveat of
That's
greatness.
beautiful. That's
That is
beautiful. That
beautiful.
it is beautiful. Thank you for
That
sharing
Thank
that.
is.
you.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. And
Okay.
I love sort of honoring her role in birthing greatness, right? So
Yes,
we talk about
yes,
nurturing greatness, but even the creation or the birth of greatness is
yes, yes,
just a wonderful, wonderful
yes,
testament to your mom and
yes,
your dad.
yes,
Yes.
yes.
So when you hear the phrase nurturing greatness, like what does that mean to you in practice? So we get a lot of theory, but what does it mean for you in practice to when you think about nurturing greatness?
Nurturing greatness to me means you show up every day. even when you don't want to, even when it's hard. You cannot give up. And that goes back to perseverance. Sometimes you may not always have the answers to the questions, but you find the resources and you do what you have to do to get it done. And to me, not giving up, showing up every day, that is what people need and expect. And if you're going to be great, you have to manifest that in everything that you do. People, although we were not allowed to be followers, a lot of people need to be led and want to be led. They don't want to be followers. And I believe that a good leader nurtures the greatness in themselves and the people who are following them or that they're leading. And like I said, that means that you show up every single day, your authentic self, doing the best job that you can do with the resources that you have.
Absolutely. I love how you put that emphasis on leaders, and how we as leaders have a responsibility. It's really important. What's one belief about students or leadership? You can stick to the leadership piece if you'd like,
Mhm.
that we must release. We got to get rid of it if we're going to be serious about transformation.
That we can't do it.
Mm,
Having excuses. Um, there's some things that definitely we cannot do, but I don't think that it's binary. We can't do it. No, we have to find a way. And I think we've been conditioned as educators. Oh, we can't do this. Oh, the budget's this. Oh, the budget doesn't allow us. Oh, we don't do this. I think there's more than one way to skin a cat. And it may not be on the path that everyone is thinking you should take, but nevertheless, things can get done, especially if it's for your students. Our students deserve it. They deserve the best of the leaders, they deserve the best of the teachers. And when I hear, we just can't do it, I'm not going to accept that we're just going to just give up. So I think that's an excuse that I don't like to hear. That
I agree with
you're
you.
not going to do your best for your students.
I agree. I couldn't agree more because, first of all, I've said this before, but I grew up, my grandparents, my grandfather in particular, would get angry with the grandchildren if he ever heard us use the word can't. It's like to
Hmm.
him, that is not in our vocabulary. We're not allowed to use it because he
Hmm.
understood what that meant. He understood that if as soon as we say I can't, it really is I won't,
Yes.
and it also is saying that we are shutting down whatever part of our brain that allows us to be creative. We're shutting that side down, saying, up, not possible, can't be
Hmm.
done,
Hmm.
and he just understood that, like, just which was really interesting to me when I think back on those days. But I used to say, Erica, I don't know if I've ever told you this, but years ago I said, I'm going to write a book about all the excuses teachers make or educators make for why kids can't be successful. I haven't written that book and I don't know that I will, but it was, it's one of those things that has nagged me for years.
So
So
can I
I
tell you
love that you
something?
brought that up.
Can I?
Yes.
This is what sparked the whole work that I do in AI. When ChatGPT first came out, and I thought to myself, this is a game changer. I had um, retired early, and because I started a business and I wanted to do just really good consulting work. But when I saw what AI can do, I said, you know what I'm going to do? I set out on a path and I said, I'm going to show the world of education, the teachers and the leaders, all who said we can't do this, we can't do that, how to leverage AI to wipe out all of the reasons we can't do certain things. And it started out with just like, I'm going to make this course for teachers. And I went through every excuse over 25 years of why teachers kept saying, I can't do this, we can't do this, these kids can't do this, these kids can't learn, these kids can't do that. And I created a course and I sat there and I recorded videos for months showing how to go in AI and prompt it.
Wow.
Then I said, okay, well, I did this for the teachers, but the school leaders know better. So then I go and I make another course and I highlight
mm,
all of the areas. I have over hundreds of videos on this. And
Wow.
then I said, okay. Then right when I was finishing the book, Trump and China had come out with, oh, everybody has to learn AI. So I said, well, I know they're going to say they don't know how to do it, so it can't be done. So I might as well do it. And I created this 13 book series on how to teach AI literacy without any coding, programming. It's just showing teachers how to teach AI literacy. Then I thought to myself, well, I can't just show them. I really have to do it for them. So every single book has lessons on how to teach it from the objective to the assessment. So 32 lessons for the entire year. every single grade. So
I love
kindergarten to
that.
12th grade teachers have no excuse as to why they cannot teach AI literacy. So when you said you were going to write your book, you can write the book, but AI is here to kind of speed it up for you to
That's true.
show, why they cannot, why they can't do things, especially for our children.
Yeah, yeah. That's good.
Yeah,
That's
it is really
transformation
good.
right there.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I think, this you really sort of nailed it around like there's no excuse for you not to do your best. That's
Yep.
teachers, right? And also students. There's no excuse. So you have
Hmm.
the tools there. So it really, what we're really talking about is high expectations,
Yes.
right? What we're really
Yes.
talking about
Yep.
is high expectations. So my question for you is when we think about high expectations, like what does that look like without harm? Because we have heard like, oh, that's not fair. You shouldn't be expecting things where, these kids can't do it, or I'm so burnt out. They're expecting too much. So talk about what does high expectations look like without harm?
So we need to be clear about what we want students, teachers, or school leaders. What do we want them to know and be able to do by an expected time frame? And when it comes to students and even the adults, we all learn and operate differently. And we need to make sure that we have the supports and the scaffolds for the kids to get there. So there's no excuse now why they can't do. And that's where I'm sorry, AI comes in because in a class of, let's say, 30 kids, you're going to have five that are going to be high achievers. You're going to have the majority of the kids just be in the middle, and then you're going to have some kids, that are going to struggle. And a teacher, how we've been trained is just to teach the kids, the average kids. And we don't know how to
That's right.
differentiate. So we're doing a disservice to both groups or both outliers.
Hmm.
And they're just saying, either they can't or I can't or I won't differentiate for them. But because of AI, you can now say, all right, I have these kids and five of these kids are really struggling. Can you provide me with the scaffolds and the support that they need to bring them to the level of my expectations? And that's what you have to be willing to say you don't know, and you
Hmm.
have to be willing to try and bring the resources and then try and then iterate because you're not always going to be great the first time, but at least you know that you have something to help those kids and you don't just keep them by the wayside. And when you mentioned something about high expectations, the first thing I was thinking of is a limitation on the teacher's end because they're not going to want to take responsibility or accountability for not knowing how to reach all their children. So they're going to put it off on the kids. They can't do. It's on them. They come from broken homes and they don't have this in the house and they don't have this resource and they didn't learn how to read and the elementary people just graduated them to the middle school or the middle school just it's all of these excuses. But high expectations to answer your question is to have a like whatever that goal or objective is of where you want either the students or the adults to be, and also providing again the scaffolds and the supports needed to help everyone reach that expectation.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
the system, you have to have intentional systems in
Hmm.
order to do that. And the courage to believe in yourself and sometimes people before they believe in themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I really love that piece around sort of what teachers are trained to do. You're absolutely right. We are trained to teach the middle. I was told
Hmm.
that in
Hmm.
teacher school,
Yeah.
like teach to the middle, and, the kids who are advanced and already doing this and the kids who haven't got, they need other things, but you teach to the
Yeah.
middle. And I think that
Yeah.
was a
I would.
disservice to me as a
Hmm.
student
Yes.
teacher because there are so many different things. I mean, that's really what differentiation is all about.
Right.
Yep.
But I did not get those skills, in as an undergrad or even as a grad
Because
student,
you're a student.
right? So
Yep.
thankfully I had some teachers around me who sort of showed me how to do that. But I think that's so right. But it also goes to expectations. I
Hmm.
didn't expect to teach the kids who were, super advanced, and I didn't expect to teach the kids that weren't going to get it because I don't
Yep.
really have anything for them, which is a lie on both ends, right?
You know
Hmm.
what I was
So,
Hmm.
told?
yeah.
I was told the kids, the high kids, they're going to be fine. You don't have to worry
Yes.
about them. They're
Yes.
going to be fine on
Yes.
their own.
Yes.
Yes,
And
Yes.
yes,
to but I was a high kid. I didn't want
yeah.
to be left on my
Oh.
own,
That's right. It's
you
such a
Or to help the
disservice.
ones to help, or you've been forced to help the ones who are
who
lower.
were
And that's
right,
Yeah,
not
which
fair to you. That's
does
not
right.
fair to
nothing
you.
for you. Does nothing for you.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
exactly. Yeah,
Yep.
that's a challenge. That's a challenge.
Yeah.
there's a lot that we still have to do to
Yeah,
Yes.
of
create
course.
equitable
Yes.
systems that
Hmm.
have high expectations that really are raising not just the middle, but raising all of them. Like every
Yes.
Hmm.
child deserves that.
Yeah, but
So what
Yes,
is
I
it?
love
indeed.
the wait, I just want to say I love though your suggestion about the use of AI to support that, to support,
Hmm.
Yes.
like as a tool. This is a tool. It's not replacing anybody.
No,
It's just it
no.
is a tool for you to support all of your students in your classroom. I love
Hmm.
that as a tool. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, AI is controversial though when you think about it.
Yes, it is.
You know,
Yes, it is.
and I've my daughter is like, you need to stop using AI, and she's a young person. She's in her 30s. But I'm like, you don't understand. Like I understand where she's coming from because there is, there's a challenge with, where they put the data centers and the
Yes,
resources that they're
yes.
pulling from, you know, communities that are lower socioeconomic communities. So she's definitely has a point with that. But yeah, I don't know if you have anything you want to say about that.
We have to use it for good. That's my message. It's here and it's not going away, and it's about
That's the
to
thing.
disrupt everything. We have to try to use it for good because there's going to be bad actors out there that are going to use it for bad. The scams there's so many scams now towards people, especially the elderly, with AI. And now I'm hearing that you're going to sooner than later need to have a safe word because they can take you say you have a daughter or I have a son and they can take his anything that was online they can actually take it offline. They can utilize their voice, can call you and say, mom, I've been kidnapped, I need $5 million.
Yeah, I've heard about
So
that.
Right.
yeah, so there's a lot that's going on that's not necessarily good, but it still has some benefit to it. And especially, like I said, when it comes to education, I see great value in it. But then I also see the bad. Right now, because it has come in so fast, teachers are at a point where they can't tell if it's the student writing or if it's AI that's writing.
Mm.
And
Hmm.
Hmm.
so you teachers are going to have to make a shift. And I have a YouTube channel. I have over 350 videos where I'm talking about all of these issues and surfacing them. And I'm saying you cannot continue to give the same activities. You cannot continue to give the same
Yep.
assignments
Yep.
because they can easily because how we operated before was just with the outcome. 1 + 1 = 2. Well, you can't do that anymore because they can just go and put that into a chat bot and it'll give them the answer. So we have to think about what is it that we really want from kids now. We
Right.
need them to we need them to make their thinking visible, right? Because we can't be because they're all going to have a good answer or right answer, and you don't know at the end of the day who's using the AI, who's not, and so a teacher can't now sh- um, shift their instruction for kids who need the support versus those who don't because they can't tell anymore. So we have to now bring out the thinking. We have to make that more visible. We have to, revise the activities and the tasks that we're giving to students. And so, although people will say, okay, AI is bad because the kids can go and cheat, they're not realizing that there's a shift. It's a total shift, a foundational shift that we're going to have to make in education. You can use it for good. There can be parts where it's good, but it's going to require the whole system to have to make a grave shift.
Yes, it absolutely will. I remember sitting in on your session and you were talking about how students need to prove the
Yeah.
prompts that they have put into the system
Yes. Yes.
and
Yes.
right, and they need
Yes.
to show their work, kind of
Yes.
like what we see in math class, show your work.
Yes.
So you're
Yes.
using AI, that's fine, but show your work. I need to see
Yeah.
your
And
thinking.
see your thinking, and then what did you tell the AI, and what the output of AI, how is that their output in comparison to what you initially put? So trying to get them to sift through it. But that we've been told all these years of how to teach. We have to teach like this. Now you're telling us to allow cheating. It doesn't sit well with people, so they'll just like reject it and act like it's not coming, but it is coming. Oh, if I just make them do the work in the class, you could. I mean, you
Hmm.
could, but then they can sneak in a phone or they can sneak in their watch and they can do a lot of stuff.
Right.
So you really don't know. So my goal for the future with education is that they they wake up to the shift that needs and they're willing to make the shift, and that their support, just like we said with high expectations,
Mm-hmm.
if we need them and we want them to make that shift, we need to make sure that they have the support and the resources in order to make that shift. So you need to have the expectations, and then we're going to support you in that, and then we're going to have scaffolded resources. Some people will
Mm-hmm.
get it like this; they're already doing it, but then you got a bunch of people who are not. So you can't hold it's like the classroom. You can't hold the teachers who have been on AI and the ones who have never even don't even know what a LLM is or a chatbot is in the same place at the same time. You have to
Right.
differentiate the support for them as well.
Right. Yeah. I love how you're talking about shifts because the next question is really about like what one practice, if you will, should educators or could educators and or leaders implement tomorrow to shift the culture even. So like we'd take it even a step further. You were talking sort of the classroom level, but let's talk about that culture piece. Like what's one practice that either educators or leaders could implement?
I think right now what leaders need to do, um, they need to have policies, but you can't make a policy unless you really know what's happening in your classrooms. So I think they need to take some inventory, see who's using AI, how they're using it, and they're going to realize that it's uneven. You may have
Mm-hmm.
three teachers that are even just allowing kids to use the AI, and you have a bunch that are not. And so you're going to have to take that inventory and decide, what do I want to do with this information? And even as a leader, what do I need to do in order, to level up my game so that we can embrace this? Because I think teachers, they need permission to be flexible and to use it, and they're not being given that autonomy there.
Right.
But even if you say it, can I trust you that, because I don't know what I'm doing, that I'm not going to get in trouble because
Mm.
I don't know the safeguards, the guardrails. I'm not sure to what extent I can use it. So I think it starts from the leadership that they need to not just inventory the staff, but inventory themselves and see what they're lacking. And I think they need to make some clear policies, not long, drawn out 50-page policies, but like, what is the expectation for our school? What are we saying is the minimum that can happen in every single classroom? And then what's the flexibility that I'm giving to teachers? And then once you do that, then what do I need to get my teachers up to the level I think where I think they need to be at? And I think that these policies need to be reviewed every 90 days. It can't be
Mm-hmm.
something that it started in August and you never visit it again until June or July, because AI is changing so quickly. So many
Yeah.
things are happening. You need to be aware of what's happening because it can be ultimately affecting your kids. There's a study that came out that, kids are trusting the chatbots more than they're trusting adults, and that's alarming. That
It
means
Mm.
is.
that they don't feel comfortable enough to tell an adult what they're truly feeling, and they rather outsource that to a chatbot because the chatbot sounds nice or understanding, and or maybe they feel like they don't want to be vulnerable around, and then they know it and it can be weaponized against them.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to look at that as well. You have inventory the kids as well. To what extent are they using it? How often are they using it? Because that's the disconnect. The adults don't want to use it, but the kids are using it.
Right.
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 And not only
They
that, they
are.
even when they go to a counselor, they're going to their chat bots to get, what do I say to my counselor? So they're getting these polished statements from chat bots, giving it to the counselors, and the counselors are alarmed. Like, where did you get this from? You don't speak like this, normally or naturally. So we need to stay on top of it, and that's what I'm saying. It can't be static. It needs to be something that's revisited every 90 days because everything is changing so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I love that time frame because I think that's so true about like every 90 days. I don't know a system yet that has incorporated that, like a 90-day review around like policy or even procedure. But I do love that. I think that's really powerful and
And that's why I said it
and
can't be
a
long.
game
It can't be
changer.
long. It
Yes,
can't be
yeah,
long or drawn out
right.
because then it's too much.
That's right. That's right. That's right. So when you think about cultivating brilliance, because this is really what we're talking about, like how do we get to the place where we're cultivating brilliance and nurturing greatness? So we think about our work as leaders in one sentence. I'm going to ask you to boil it down to in one sentence. What does cultivating brilliance require of us as leaders?
That's a good question. I would maybe just break it down to one word, authenticity.
Mm.
Being your authentic self as a leader, being your authentic self as a teacher, and bringing that authenticity to the people that you're responsible for, whether it's students, staff, the adults, but leading authentically.
That's good.
That's really good. That's
That's
really
good.
good. That's really good. So before we go, and thank you. This has been a wonderful conversation. I know
I
it would be.
appreciate it. I appreciate it. Oh, I
Uh,
appreciate it.
Before we go, could you let everybody know how they can get in touch with you? You mentioned a YouTube channel, so just let everybody know how they can reach you.
I can be reached through all social media channels through my consulting company, Creative Transformations. On YouTube, it's @Creative Transformations One. I have over 350 videos. I drop a video every day, and I only do shorts because I am cognizant of people's time. So everything is under 3 minutes. And from um, teaching how to teach multilingual learners, students with disabilities, how to teach AI literacy, I have for everybody. And I'm still finding content to produce. I told you I have the 13 book series, grade by grade. It's called Teaching AI with Confidence. You can find it on Barnes and Noble. You can find it on Amazon. My courses, if anyone's interested, or workshops, you can contact me through my website, which is creativetransformations.consulting. And I just want to add one last thing. I didn't mention it, but it's something that it's coming out very soon. It's out, it's through beta testing. Because of the AI cheating, I created an instructional engine, it's really a web app. And it's God willing, it'll eventually just, be an app as well, where teachers can take their old assignments and activities or create new ones where it's not easily cheatable. So kids can't, it's not easy for the kids to cheat. And so they can redesign their activities, assessments, lesson plans, projects. And it redesigns it to make it much more rigorous, and as well how to teach kids how to use AI responsibly. It can grade the students' work, it can give feedback. So it kind of makes things faster. But I just want to end with this. From all the work that I've been doing for the past 2 years in AI and education, all the things that I've created, the number one thing that we have to remember is judgment. Because AI is here, it can make things faster, and it
Mhm.
can give it sounds correct because it's authoritative, but it makes a lot of mistakes. And at the end of the day, what I'm noticing, number one, that everyone has to do is look at that output and make judgments. Is this for my group of students? Is this for the teachers that are in front of me? And I'll end with that. That judgment is going to be the number one skill that we're going to have to use with AI as we move in the future. So I thank you for having me and hosting me. And if people want to reach out, I'm always here. You can book a call. I do it for free. Workshops you got to pay for, but I'm happy about the work that I'm doing, and I just want us to excel. And I think AI does have the potential to do it, but we have to use it for good.
That's
Absolutely.
awesome. Thank you so much, Dr.
Thank you for
Jamiylah
having me.
Jones. Thank you.
Okay.
And thank you all for joining us for this episode of the Nurturing Greatness podcast. I have learned so much. I'm just so excited. If this conversation challenged you, affirmed you, or gave you something practical to implement like it did for me, share it with a colleague and join the movement.
Absolutely. And you can visit nurturinggreatness.info to join the movement, to explore our services, upcoming events, and resources designed to support your nurturing greatness journey. And Dr. Jones, thank you again, and for also being a leader in this AI space. We need more
Yes.
people that look like
Thank you. I
us.
appreciate it.
Unt-
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Until next time, keep nurturing greatness.